Hey everybody, how's it going? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first card that we have out is Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands, you can feel like you're sort of at your limit with something. It can be that moment where even though you're very far along with something, working through something or accomplishing something, or you've put in like a concentrated effort, having Nine of Wands come up can be like, do I really want to go the rest of the way with this? But not so much where there's a question about like if you really want that or not. It's sort of like, do I have this within me? Like, do I still have that spark within me or that motivation? So you can be feeling tired. You can be feeling like you've done so much already. You don't know how much you have left to be able to see this through, like that type of thing. Feels like one of those moments when you're in a process where you pause and you're like, wow, this is actually really difficult, like that type of thing. Some of you, I'm seeing you try not to maybe fall back onto something that you feel would not be particularly helpful to your process currently. Okay. The door is about to open. It's about to. I'm seeing you be very close to this. And that is going to be the completion of this cycle. It's like the win is so close that you can taste it. You can sort of like feel it in the air, that type of thing. Keep doing just a little at a time. I'm getting sort of a jack of all trades. You can feel like you have to wear a bunch of different hats right now. It's what's asked of you, it's what you're asking of yourself, it's what you're expecting of yourself. Okay, the way that I'm seeing the Six of Pentacles come out, there can be a concern like making sure that you're getting what you need. Even in the most basic of ways, but also too that you're showing up the way that you need to. Like I said that I was going to give it like this much effort, like for a half hour every day, like that type of thing, and making sure that you're actually doing that. But it can also be being mindful that you're also receiving what you need too. So it's not only about showing up, it's also about being receptive as well. But something about that I'm seeing as being challenging, because you can feel like you're keeping something balanced the way that it's supposed to be, but at the same time, Nine of Wands can be feeling like it takes a lot to keep it steady the way that it's supposed to be steadied. So something can feel challenging in that regard, like yes, something is meeting a standard technically, but at the same time, Nine of Wands can be like, but I'm feeling so exhausted right now. I do feel like you can get help with this, but I'm getting, for some reason, like not feeling particularly open to it. I don't know why. Because like Nine of Wands, I'm seeing that there's an opportunity for you to get help with this, but again, like I'm seeing you be in a space where I don't know if you're weary about this. I don't know if you don't want to be like vulnerable about this, because I'm seeing Five of Swords pop up where it's kind of like, even though I'm exhausted with something, in a way Six of Pentacles is like I am technically getting what I need, but something is like really difficult for me right now. So I get like that part where you can feel like you don't know if you can sort of do something or continue doing something, or if you have the energy to see something through. And I'm seeing that there's a character here that can help you, and you have an opportunity to connect with this energy. But the way that I'm seeing you be psychologically is kind of like, don't really want to let that in on your process for some reason. That's what I'm seeing. So it's like you have a little problem over here. I don't know if you want to call it a problem, but it's more so like you're in the midst of something, and it can just feel like, even though things are the way that they're supposed to be, your energy and the exertion, you can feel like it's a little bit out of whack, where you're almost like, I don't know if I really have it in me to do this, or I'm just really, this is really hard for me right now, like that type of thing. Even though things are all right, you can be like, this is extremely challenging, exhausting. At the same time, even though it feels like something can alleviate some of that, help you with it, assist you with it, I'm seeing you be like keeping something at arm's length, or like having some type of wall or block to like not let this help in for some reason. And this can even be, this help doesn't have to necessarily be another person, although it definitely can be. This help can be you doing something in a way where you're taking tangible, practical steps and working on something little by little and helping yourself here. And there may be something that you don't want to do, even though it would help your process. For some reason, where you are mentally with things, it may not be open to allowing you to do this. So something would have to change with like the mind frame here. So you have an opportunity, but I'm seeing you almost spar with it and be like, I don't think that I'm open to that, but it would be helpful is what I'm seeing. I do feel like this is your guides just saying that like there is something in the environment, whether again it's something that like you can do yourself, or something coming through that would be helpful to you, just to let you know that it's there. Even if you still feel closed off to it, it feels like this is just to say something is there, that like it doesn't have to be this hard. It doesn't have to be this difficult for you. You could be like a little bit exhausted with your own self right now, is kind of what this is seeming like. You know, when you're just working with yourself psychologically, there can be a part of you that's like, oh, like, why is this so challenging for me? Why is this so difficult for me? Like, why am I making this so hard for myself? But it feels like it's all from a mental space. Like, why would you look at something that would be helpful and see it sort of as the enemy and something that you need to protect yourself from, when it's like, protect yourself from something that would help you? Like, what even is that? But there may be a part of you that's like, I don't want to pause something. I'm seeing something that would actually like bring you mental clarity and peace. Something would allow you to recharge and get to a centered space, but I'm seeing you look at that and see it as being threatening. Okay, Four of Swords is something that would stabilize. It would allow you to stabilize mentally, which means that your processing would stabilize. You would be in a space where it's like charging the phone. You would be able to like function at a high frequency, concentrate, focus, see things clearly, like whatever it is that you want to sort of use your brain for, that's what this would do. But this Five of Swords I'm seeing be your energy, where it's like this is the enemy for some reason, like, and I don't know why, but it's almost like this part of you that for some reason thinks that this won't help you, but I don't understand how that makes sense, but that's what I'm seeing energetically with this. It's like seeing something that would actually be recharging for you, or like stabilizing for you, as something that you need to like defend yourself from. but it's going to take a shift mentally for you to see this as like friend, you know, rather than enemy here. Like, look, if you go through this door, it'll make things easier. It'll make what you're working on easier. But yeah, there's definitely this part of you that's almost like not wanting to surrender to this. But in the surrendering, it would be something that, like, this would very much help you with what you're doing. It's like, this is really difficult. Help is available to you, but then you look at the help and you're like, I don't want to let that in for some reason. Saying it like this, like me not knowing what this reading is about, like I don't know what this is for you. I don't know your life. But from what I'm seeing, it's like really that clear, and at this point you can look at it and see it like that, but you know when you're in the middle of a situation it doesn't feel like that. So as much as I can be making it sound like, oh, why would I be doing that, I didn't realize, at the same time, like, I don't know what's going on, and you know it's more complicated than that when you're in the middle of something, but this is sort of pulling you up so you can see like how you're actually sort of working against yourself with this. Like, something does not have to be so difficult is what I'm seeing. But there may be a part of you that's like, I'm just fine having to deal with it like that. Like, I'm definitely getting a digging your heels in the ground, but it's actually working against you in this situation. It's not always like that maybe, but maybe you have something where there's something that you feel untrusting about, something like that. Let's actually clarify. Why would you feel 5 of Swords against something that would be helpful to you? It's like you're really, really tired and it would help to go to sleep, but you're like fighting the sleep even though it would be something that would be really replenishing for you. Like that type of thing, energetically speaking. There may be something that you don't want to give up that isn't really fixing like the problem, but it almost is. This is reminding me of, it will be something that you feel attached to that you don't want to give up, but it's not actually really helping this situation, is what I'm seeing. But Devil will tell you that like you've convinced yourself that it like kind of does. There's a quote that I just heard today. Something along the lines of, it can feel like almost impossible to give up something that like just nearly works. Almost like you'll never stop unless you remove yourself from this cycle. Like you'll never truly be satisfied or feel fulfilled or have that thing work that just barely works, and so it keeps you like running in that cycle again and again and again. So whatever this is, like it's not really the answer, but it may kind of almost be. And so it's something that you can feel like you're in this cycle of that. And having the Devil clarify 5 of Swords, you can know that something isn't the best for you, but there can be a part of you that like is like, I don't want anything to threaten that. I don't want anything to get in the way of that. And I'm protecting this thing that's actually like kind of harmful to me. Because if you really checked in, the Devil is something that you would look at and be like, this actually isn't the best thing for me, but there can be a part of you that's like, but I don't want to let go of it because I'm like really attached to the idea of this. And I wish that I could remember the exact quote. I hope that translated the way that I meant it to be. It's kind of like you'll never be finished with a cycle, like because you'll never be fully satisfied with something that almost works. You're still always chasing after it, but you'll always be in that space because it will never quite be the answer like that. So you can find yourself in a cycle like that, and whatever that is for you in this situation, I'm seeing you be in a space where you may be very, very resistant still to releasing this, but it's because it has like a grip on you. That's why. If you really look into this, you're going to see the truth of what it is for you, but it's going to be only when you're willing to really see. And until that point, you're going to be able to fool yourself if you want to with this. And that's why this will be able to continue only through not doing like the realist, most cutting to the middle, honest self-reflection about this. But that's also the mechanism of the devil too, is that it will do things to get you to not do the honest self-reflection about it. Like, don't think about it too hard, because then you're going to realize what this is. So you can have something along the lines of that going on, something that will keep you like kind of foggy a little bit here, so you're not really seeing that this actually isn't the answer, and that is kind of like a mirage type thing. A new perspective will be what's necessary for you. The devil will be something that you may have, the way that I'm seeing this is, it may be something that you've convinced yourself you need, but that's like the old framework of something. And if you want to move through this, you're gonna have to expand, like you're gonna have to grow. So energetically, you can feel like this is something that keeps you stuck in like an old paradigm, even one that there's a part of you that's like, I'm growing out of this, I don't really fit in it anymore, but there's another part of you that's like, I want to stay in here, like I don't want to see things that way, because then I'm gonna have to make some type of sacrifice. Having Six of Pentacles and Five of Swords, I think that you've convinced yourself that like the risk and reward like pays off with this, but having the Devil come out, it's like you may have convinced yourself of that, but if you really look at this, you're gonna see that that's not true. But as I said before with this energy, it'll be something where it's like, well, don't think too hard about it, otherwise you'll realize the truth about it. You'll cut through and be able to see. But you have to want the truth more than anything to be able to see it. Otherwise, everything else will cloud your vision and like come first. I'm also seeing you be in a spot where it looks like you've really been like working on your discernment, and you may at this point be trying to get to the bottom of something that you could be like, I think that this is actually what I should be doing or what would work for me. This is something that will also help clear up your discernment and help you see things and help your brain like function more properly. But this situation or this cycle has been almost like keeping you from being in that clear state to be able to look at this and realize what's actually going on. And I think too that once you are in a clear state, even if you don't change what you're doing and you just recognize that it's like not really the answer, like it's not really the answer, if you, meaning it's not fully or completely doing what you need, like it's not the real thing. Once you get into a space where it seems like there's some type of break or rest or something that recalibrates, then I'm seeing you'll be able to look at like, why is there resistance here and where is that coming from? Like, why do I almost not want to do this thing that would actually be good for me to be doing? That would be better for me to be doing, like that type of thing. I'm seeing you be very close to working this out. I'm seeing you be like right on the edge of it, like right on the edge of the realization. But this is something that's been like quite an exhausting process. I'm also seeing too that there's a lot of you learning about your values through this, which means especially like how you want to be showing up just as an individual. the part of you that's really resistant to changing your perspective of this, you can feel almost like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, but I'm seeing you just be very close to it, and it's definitely going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. But you need to do things that will like keep you clear and able to move through this at the most. Just want to be clear from other influences to be able to properly do this, and then you'll be able to really understand, okay? All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.